my baby boy. His name is Traeh. His heart spelled back. Traeh was also a victim of bullying. And when I say bullying, I'm talking about all forms. My 13-year-old son, who was just full of life, laying on his floor lifeless. When I go to that gravesite and I see his name written on that gravestone, I realize that is forever. He's never coming back. And I hope that people who have been bullies, I hope that they realize how impactful their actions are. And there was one time I went and looked at some of Traeh's messages, and Traeh made a post, simple words, "What's wrong with you?" And then I felt a little hopeful because I saw one of his classmates responded. So I was like, oh great, somebody's gonna reach out to him. But you know what they said? One word, everything. So Traeh said, no, I'm being literal. And you know what that classmate said? So am I. Can you imagine if he was already feeling hurt and down and like he had no one? He didn't make that post for attention. He made that post hoping at least one person would have said, there's nothing wrong with you, Traeh. A parent told me the other day that her daughter was friends with Traeh, and she would always tell Traeh, oh, your hair is so pretty. And Traeh would always return a compliment. He would find something. So they were like, Traeh, your hair is so nice. He'd be like, oh, thank you, I like yours too. Or thank you, I really love your outfit. He would always find something to compliment someone about. He would always find a reason to forgive. Like always.
Traeh just reminds me of things my dad has said about forgiving.
His ability to forgive, his ability to have hope from day to day. Like you got to have an amazing amount of hope to forgive people every single day. And it just got to a point to where he was just hurting so bad that he wasn't thinking about those that loved him. He wasn't thinking about anything. Think about when you have a toothache. What's the only thing you're thinking about?
That tooth.
That tooth. How bad it hurts. How bad it hurts.
Traeh called and said, Traeh dead. That's all she said, Traeh dead. And to me, I thought he had got hit by a car because, they go down here to catch the bus. So I couldn't imagine. Because when I left, he had a smile on his face. Right. So, but I had to keep telling myself that to say, don't question why the Lord did what he did. It's for a reason. And I tell her sometimes, a lot of times, the reason is they always got her going somewhere to speak to somebody, a group. And a lot of times she'll make comments that they didn't realize that bullying was doing this to people. And to me, Traeh may be over there, but Traeh here. Traeh ain't going nowhere. Because I knew what Traeh meant to me.
Those are Traeh's glasses.
Which ones? Hold on, I'm blindsided. Oh, okay. I'm nearsighted. I should have my glasses on right now, too.
This is Traeh's talking stick.
Talking stick?
Mm-hmm. So it's like a microphone. Whoever has it, they have the floor. That's who talks.
Ah.
It's a talking stick.
I would have been up in here rolling.
Hey, this is our stage right here.
I would have been up in here rolling.
This is one of my coworkers is Cherokee. She knows that we had Native American in our family, so she gave me her corn beads. You know the tradition of corn beads. So these are.
I have a little bit of that in my family too. Choctaw Indian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these were hers. She wore to her dad's funeral. She gave them to me for Traeh.
It's hard to accept. You're not going to ever accept it. Because to me, y'all hurt me. I'm talking about the people. Y'all hurt me. And you can't take that hurt away. No.
And we found this in one of Tiva's coloring books. Not sure when he drew it, but he drew a picture of Tiva. He knows she loves unicorns. He said, "I love you."
Oh.
I don't know when he drew it. We found it after he died. So we started the Traeh Thyssen Have a Heart Foundation. So we say Have a Heart 1. His name was Heart Spelled Backwards. And we truly believe that if people just had a heart, we wouldn't have as much bullying. And we could probably sometimes prevent suicide. So have a heart just means showing up for people. Showing up, being there consistently. And, you know, sometimes the signs of suicide aren't always as evident. And so one of the students asked me, say, well, so if there are no signs, how can we prevent it? By having a heart consistently. If you're consistently showing up for people, if you consistently have a presence, then they know, like they have it in, like, let's say today you just happened to check on them, and today was the day that they decided they were going to end their life. Because you were consistently doing it. Not that you had any signs, you were just consistent, your consistency saved them. Like, that's it. Very simple. And so what we do is we bring awareness to bullying and suicide so we can try to prevent it. We actually have something coming up. October 3rd will be Traeh's 3-year angelversary. And so, you know, I did a balloon release that first year. Everybody talks about how beautiful balloon releases are, but I hated it. Yeah. You ever had, like when you was a kid, you lost your balloon, you tried to grab it, but it was gone? That's what it reminded me of. Traeh, how fast we lost him. So we wanted to do something different. So last year we had our first bullying and suicide awareness runway show at Southern University. And we had the Green twins. Erin Green was on America's Next Top Model. They remembered Traeh from a model boot camp. And they came down and they hosted it. We had 10 designers from across the U.S. We had 75 volunteer models. And the whole point, we had the hip-hop doc, DJ Doc was DJing. We just had the whole community. The community came in, and our whole mission was to remember Traeh and then bring awareness and prevention to bullying and suicide. So all the vendors were community organizations that help support mental health. So when people say there are no resources, we brought the resources to them. So we're going to have our second one this year, October 2nd. So we just want to continue to say his name. We want to continue to bring awareness, and we want to just continue to share his story and his legacy of love. Because if you knew Traeh, you knew that he was love. Those is for 2 Facebook followers out of the state. I draw, and I couldn't draw his face, and I wrote a post about it, so they came and they said, we're going to draw his face for you.
So I guess I wasn't the only person that thought of a painting. It must have been in the spirit.
Yeah, so that's my 3D art right there. My daughter added some. Mm-hmm. Everybody who comes has to put a painting on the wall.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
This bear was made by one of my former jobs, Life Source Hospice. It was made out of 2 of Traeh's favorite shirts. The first favorite shirt said, "Best Brother." And the other one said, "Y'all need Jesus." And so they made, I think this is perfect. I think this is perfect. Especially the "Y'all need Jesus" part, because Jesus is love. And obviously we need to have a heart. And so we need this. Traeh loved bow ties.
My other grandson will not wear his. Zion will not wear it. He told me to give them all away.
This was given to Traeh by Boo Melton. And then this is my Capella pen. Because when Traeh died, I was in school getting my PhD. When he died, I quit. I told my teacher I wasn't going back. I don't want to be Dr. Nobody. But God, I went back and I finished. And in the front of my research, my dedication was to Traeh. Because he kept saying, "Can we watch a movie?" No, Traeh, I can't watch a movie right now. I'm doing my work. And so part of my dedication said, we did it. We pushed through. and now we can watch that movie. So I have my Capella pen on here because I kept hearing Traeh in my head. We gotta finish. So one thing that I kept asking too when Traeh died was, why didn't he know that tomorrow gets better? Why didn't he know that? And did I forget to tell him that? Did I not remind him enough? And so now one of our slogans for the Have a Heart Foundation is tomorrow gets better. Which just means that you got to be here tomorrow. And if you want to truly experience that better that is promised, you got to be here. Because I can guarantee you, if you're not here, you won't experience it. So tomorrow gets better. I actually wrote a book because I couldn't sleep, so I started drawing till I ran out of drawing. So I started writing. So I had enough to write a book. And it's just talking about our journey as a family through Traeh's death. And just reminding people that tomorrow does get better.
All the people in Nero's wanted the book.
And where do you find it? Where can they find that book?
They can just send go to ihaveaheart.org and request a copy of the book. And what made me really want to finish it, and really what made me truly believe that tomorrow gets better, I don't know if you can see it, but one day I went to Traeh's gravesite, and I put sunflowers on his grave. Sunflowers are always like a symbol of, hope and a new day. And the sun ray was shining directly on his grave. And I was like, so I took a picture of it, and I said, if I look at this picture tomorrow and it's there, that means that really happened. And it did. So that was a reminder that tomorrow truly, truly does get better. And I have to remind myself of that. I have it written on my mirror in the morning. And so that's our message. We want to share Traeh's story. We want to bring awareness to bullying and suicide. We want to prevent both of them. And we want to remind people that tomorrow gets better. So I promise you that tomorrow gets better, but you just got to promise me that you're going to be here tomorrow. Every 13th of the month, we have Talking with Tiva. This is Tiva. And every 13th, she has a special guest. And she asks the guests, she talks to them for 13 minutes. Sometimes they go over, depending on how the conversation's going and, people in the comments. But one of her questions is always, what does it mean to have a heart? Guts. Best supporting actor. He didn't live to realize his very first play. Every day I'm realizing how Traeh must have felt. How alone he must have felt. I told someone the other day, I understand how Mamie Till must have felt. To have lost her son the way she did, to have to go through the judicial system the way she did, to hear people speak negatively about her son, to be by herself fighting for justice for her son, fighting for her son while grieving. That's a lot. And she did it with her head held high. So I understand how Mamie Till must have felt. I get it. So, but it's going to take a community. We have to bring back the community. That's the biggest thing. There's no one person. I'm not Jesus, Jesus Rita. I'm not any of those people. But I can tell you that we need the community back. My monologue, she kept saying, you got to put more feeling into it. I was like, I don't know how to act like a grieving mother. And so I had to call her back and says, I don't have to act now.
Damn. And give me them last words again of Traeh in that play.
His last words in the play were, Miss Honey, we did it. It's a new day. The very last words of the play.